Hare Krishna. This is very, very important verse. Can anybody recite one to devotees without seeing this shloka? First verse of NY.
वाचो वेगं मनसा क्रोधवेगं जिह्वावेगं उदरोपस्थवेगं एतान् वेगान् यो विषयेत धीरा सर्वान् पृथ्वीमां सशिष्यात्.
Hari Om. Thank you very much. Other devotees?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
वाचो वेगं मनसा क्रोधवेगं जिह्वा वेगं उदर उपस्थवेगं एतान् वेगान् यो विषहेत धीरा सर्वाम् अपि मां पृथ्वीं स शिष्यात्.
Hari Om. Sadhu, sadhu. Nice. Any other devotees?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Vacho vegam manasa krodha vega jiva vegam udara upastha vegam etan vegan yaviseta dhira sarva apayama prithvi sasya.
Hari Om. Sadhu, sadhu. Nice. Okay. Any others would like to first?
वाचो वेगं मनसा क्रोधवेगं जिह्वा वेगम् उदर उपस्थवेगम् एतान् वेगान् यो विशद धीरः सर्वाम् अपि मां पृथ्वीं स शिष्यात्.
Hari Om. Sadhu, sadhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu ki jai. So, something what we have discussed last time, preface and about this verse. Can somebody tell share some points quickly? What we learned, some important points at least from preface. Some points, whatever you like, whatever you remembered. Anybody can share.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So in the preface, one very famous and important point was that advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of a devotee.
Rio, very nice. Very punching statement. Huh? Advancement is dependent on the attitude of the follower. What is the attitude of the follower? Okay, very nice. Other things? Some points very, very important. There are, if we didn't catch this, then we should not go ahead without remembering the points what are important. No?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you said the basic point is that in all spiritual affairs, one first duty is to control his mind and senses, and unless one is control his mind and senses, one cannot advance.
If we control the mind and senses, the remaining advancement will be revealed by Krishna. First duty is to control mind and senses. Very, very important. And other things, some more points.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, the spiritual path start with the ashraya of spiritual master, taking shelter of spiritual master.
Yeah, sadhaka devotees should always have a guidance. This NY is for the sadhakas, sadhaka bhaktas, and one should always have spiritual master who gives us guidance. So under guidance, we need to follow. We have to control our mind and senses, and we have to read scriptures or anything under the guidance. Very nice. We are Rupanugas. First and foremost line in the preface, Prabhupada tells, we should always remember we are representing our ancestors. We are Rupanugas. We are followers of Rupa Goswami. It is not something newly created organization. It is a conclusion of Vedas and everything. All scriptures will tell same thing. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Even in India, Africa, America, even if you study in international school, whatever school it may be, syllabus is same, formulas are same. So spirituality, whichever religion it is, one thing only teaches is surrender to Krishna. So Rupa Goswami, we are Rupanugas. Without reading spiritual books written by Rupa Goswami, Prabhupada and all acharyas, how can we understand Radha Krishna pastimes? You know, so this is a Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoibe Akuti Kabe Hame Buja Visaya Yugal Piriti. The most exalted goal is to understand Radha Krishna affairs, not some foolish, foolish people, boys and girls coming together. That is not something very great thing. But the highest thing of spirituality is to understand Radha Krishna affairs. That thing we can understand by reading scriptures written by Rupa Goswami, Srila Prabhupada. Rupa Raghunatha Padeve Haive Akuti Kabe Ame Buja Vise Yugala Piriti. Rupa Goswami is the leader of all Vaishnava, all Goswamis. Six Goswamis are direct disciples of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself. So Rupa Goswami has given us nectar of all instructions. So these 11 verses are most important. And also we discussed that first duty in our spiritual affairs is to control his mind and senses. Unless one controls his mind and senses, one cannot make any advancement in his spiritual life. So next, advancement in the Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. Attitude means first one should become Goswami. Then pure devotee. Without controlling the senses, one cannot become pure devotee. So one should follow these instructions very strictly. Then it will be easier to make one's life, spiritual life, successful. Then first shloka written by Rupa Goswami is we have to control our urges. First one is Vacho Vegam. So here purport 6 Vegas and purport we discussed that Parikshit Maharaj is asking one important question, that why do people undergo atonement if they cannot control their mind and senses? Like we saw an example, like elephant taking bath in the river and nicely and coming out and taking dust and keeping dust on its body again. What is the use of taking bath? So even one more example, a thief knows that if, police will catch if I do thievery, police will catch and keep me in jail, but still he does that. Not having just having knowledge is not a end. We should practice the knowledge what we have. And like Ravana was a Brahmana, born in Brahmana family. He is not lack of knowledge. Hiranyakashipu is not lacking knowledge. They all have knowledge, but one should implement. So we discussed about sixth canto, first verse, and ninth and 10th verses. How Parikshit Maharaj asked the question. So we will discuss from there. Here, Parikshit Maharaj compared an atonement to an elephant bathing. The elephant may take very nice bath in the river, but as soon as it comes out on the bank, it throws dirt all over its body. What then is its value of its bathing? Can somebody read this? Red? Red one?
Prabhuji, I will assign alphabetically.
Yeah.
Yes. Bibhu Prabhu.
Similarly, many spiritual practitioners chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and at the same time commit many forbidden things, thinking that their chanting will counteract their offenses. Of the 10 types of offenses one can commit while chanting the holy name of the Lord, this offense is called Namna Balad Yasya Hi Papa Buddhi, committing sinful activities on the strength of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
So, when we are doing yajna, if you are pouring the ghee and at the same time pouring the water, so it will not help you. Chanting Hare Krishna mantra at the same time committing offenses is compared to like in yajna we are keeping the ghee to burn the firewood. At the same time we are pouring water also. So that will not help. Similarly, yes, sadhaka while chanting Hare Krishna, he should not do offenses. Many people, 99.99% people, no, while chanting Hare Krishna mantra, they do offenses, thinking that I am also chanting Hare Krishna, then this Hare Krishna will protect me. So namno balad yasya hi papa buddhi. This is very dangerous. Similarly, some Christians go to churches. Go to churches and they confess their sins. They go to Friday they go to church and they confess their sins in front of Father. They will tell. Have you seen some people have some that? I also did not see. I have heard that they go to a confession booth will be there, and in that people will go and confess. Confess means accepting. First step is to accept that this is my mistake. But that is not sufficient to accept this is my mistake. Of course, this is the first step. This is the wrong thing. Non-devotees, atheistic people think this is right. This is not wrong. So they don't accept only. At least spiritualists will accept that this is mistake and they confess. But that much is not enough. So they confess, and again, as soon as Saturday is over and Sunday comes, again begin their sinful activities, expecting to be forgiven the next Saturday. है ना? So ठीक है, एक बार forgive किया, फिर दूसरे बार, फिर तीसरे बार. So they are gone. This kind of prashchitta or atonement is condemned by Parikshit Maharaj. So, who condemns these things? They are very intelligent. What is the use of atonement? So, Parikshit Maharaj is considered most intelligent king of his time. And Sukadeva Goswami equally intelligent as befitting the spiritual master of Maharaj Parikshit. So, we should be intelligent to understand scriptures. Otherwise, we cannot. So, how to overcome this? What is the solution for this? Is very, very important. How to overcome atonement, not just atoning. So here answered the king and confirmed his statement that concerning atonement was correct. And sinful activity cannot be contracted by pious activity. Thus, real prashchita atonement is awakening of our dormant Krishna consciousness. Is the real solution. Real atonement, real prashchitta is to awaken Krishna consciousness in our heart. So people, karmakandi people, they believe on karmakanda means, I did some mistake, so I will do some prashchitta for overcoming this mistake. By mistake, if I have done some, then we can have a prashchitta under the guidance of spiritual authorities. But all the time, say you're committing same mistake, nobody will give you atonement. That is not real prayaschitta. Prayaschitta is should do, not commit that mistake again. Some people does mistake and then sorry bro. Second time they do mistake, sorry bro. Third time mistake, sorry bro. Then no forgiveness. Later on it becomes a daily affair, telling sorry. So here very, very important. Can somebody read this? Real atonement. What is real atonement?
Real atonement involves coming to real knowledge, and for this there is a standard process. When one follows a regulated hygienic process, he does not fall sick. A human being is meant to be trained according to certain principles to revive his original knowledge. Such a methodical life is described as a tapasya. One can be gradually elevated to the standard of the real knowledge or Krishna consciousness by practicing austerity and celibacy, and by controlling the mind and by controlling the senses, by giving up one's possession in charity, by being avowedly truthful, by keeping clean, by practicing yoga asanas.
So all these things will help us. So real atonement is to come to real knowledge, that is Krishna consciousness. For this, it's a standard process for everyone. It's not only for one person. It is for all. The entire Krishna consciousness, the process remains same. Process means what? Process means fixed. जैसा कि दूध को दही बनाना, there is a process. दूध को गर्म करना पड़ेगा, फिर उसको वार्म करना पड़ेगा, ठंडा, हाई टेम्परेचर से फिर मीडियम टेम्परेचर, फिर उसमें थोड़ा दूध डालना है, फिर शेकअप करना है, बस थोड़ा देर छोड़ने का, कुछ घंटे के बाद वो दही बन जाता है. सो प्रोसेस इज सेम. आप इंडिया में रहो, अफ्रीका में रहो, अमेरिका में रहो, कहाँ भी रहो, प्रोसेस रिमेन्स सेम. फॉर कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस process is same for the standard process. So what is that standard process? When one follows a regulative hygienic process, he does not fall sick. A human being is meant to be trained according to certain principles. What is that? Tapasya. Akara. This chanting Hare Krishna is considered like a medicine. But when you are taking medicine, you should not take certain things. Patya. Patya is also important. What is the patya? Tapasya. One should do tapasya. Certain, what tapasya we have to do? Can anybody mention certain tapasyas?
Following core regulative principles.
Yeah, following four regulative principles. Once Prabhupada was telling, if you don't follow four regulative principles, even I cannot help you. Prabhupada was in one morning walk, Prabhupada was telling, what can be done? Even I cannot help you. Prabhupada was telling. No. So very important. If somebody doesn't follow 4x, then no chance. Okay. And any?
Eating only prasadam.
This is the most important thing. We should not eat anything unoffered items or cooked by non-devotees. Like biscuit, chocolate. After coming to Krishna, after reading NY, and still if we are eating these things, then we are not pakka devotee. So one should not take all this cooked by non-devotees. Without offering certain, we cannot eat anything. This is called tapasya. Then one can be gradually elevated to standard knowledge. The real standard of real knowledge. What is that? Krishna consciousness. And celibacy. tapasya and celibacy. Brahmacharya, tapasa brahmacharyena, samena dhamena cha. So, brahmacharya, one should always follow brahmacharya. If whoever is following brahmacharya, they will, all these process, if you follow, then result is we come to sattva and we follow all the rules and regulations by default. Brahmacharya, even for grasthas or brahmacharis. Brahmachari, no chance of meeting woman. No, even not having relationship with any woman, and should not have some, jolly relationships. You see outsiders, they always laughing, joking, in public, no shame. Yeah. So brahmacharya is very, very important. That all these things, laughing, joking, all these things with a woman is a sign of, not following brahmacharya. One should not be too close with a woman. And grasthas only with married wife. Others, you should not have casual relationship with women. So by controlling senses, by giving up one's possessions in charity, grastha should give donation to preaching Krishna consciousness. One should not think this is my money. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So by vividly, outwardly truthful, by keeping clean and practicing yogasanas, see, truthfulness, cleanliness, these are very important. Cleanliness, everything. The most important thing, solution to real atonement is where this yellow part. Very, very, very important. As per my understanding, without this, no other thing will help you. So, can somebody read this yellow?
However, if one is fortunate enough to get the association of pure devotee, he can easily surpass all the practices for controlling the mind by the mystic yoga processes, simply by following the regulative principles of Krishna consciousness, refraining from illicit sex, meditating, intoxication, and gambling. And by engaging in the service of the Supreme Lord under the direction of the bona fide spiritual master, this easy process is being recommended by Srila Rupa Goswami.
This is the easy process recommended by Srila Rupa Goswami. One should always associate with pure devotee. Always associate with pure devotee. This is the one-shot solution for all the problems. We should associate with at most advanced devotee. How we can associate? Can somebody tell?
Through his Vani and Vapu both.
Vani is most important than Vapu. Vapu, not everybody may get. But Vani, that I was reading, after spiritual master leaves, the spiritual master's instructions, that is the spiritual master himself. Vani, instructions are very important to be followed. So this is the easy process. One should always associate. One should never associate with who are weak in Krishna consciousness. This is very dangerous. One should not make friendship with them. One should not make we could not express our heart, or we should not listen to the weak-hearted people unless we are capable to deliver them. Otherwise, it will affect us also. No? So the real atonement is we should have a strong desire to associate with pure devotees. One should go and serve pure devotees. This is a very, very important. This is the easy process being recommended by Rupa Goswami. So Here, fortunate. Who are the fortunate? Who have good association. Unfortunate are the people who get bad association, where principles are broken. Once one devotee was telling, no? Even in every Sangha, one devotee was telling, Arey, Guru Puja means Guru Puja singing is over, then we can leave. Guru Puja is over. We don't need to attend Hare Krishna Kirtan. No, we should attend till last. Anything. If you hear one thing, na, अरे ठीक है गुरु पूजा हो गया चलो निकल जाएंगे है ना while doing Mahaprasad, when we are honoring Prasadam, we can recite Mahaprasad Govinda in the mind also. So every day we do that only. We never recite loudly. Though the lower standard people will get more followers. Low standard people, we get more followers. Everybody likes that. Because low process, we can easily follow. But anybody says strictly, like Radhesham Prabhu, Khadak, one should be always associated with strict people, strict and serious. No more leniency. This lifetime we should go to Bhaktivedanta. No more chance of giving one more life. We should always, preaching means we should go out, preach and come back with strong association. We get a lot of opportunities to go to brahmacharis, other temples. They have made ready-made temples, everything. Finance, you get free mobiles, free internet, everything. But we should not lose association where we have strong, somebody who can catch our ears. We should always try to have strict association. That is fortunate devotee. The association of pure devotees. Like Prabhupada Maharaj. I brought him Maharaj to our Vaguli center. Maharaj said, hey, you are collecting donations on your account? This is wrong. Maharaj, some people doesn't know how to, they cannot fill the form and everything. That's why I just kept. Maharaj said, no, should not collect on your account. Some people, one brahmachari was telling, अरे लैंड ले लो अपना नाम पे रखो बाद में बेच नहीं सकते ISKCON का नाम पे रखे. I said, my Guru Maharaj said, if anything, land or anything is not under ISKCON, he will never keep one leg also inside that. Any land which is not under ISKCON, my Guru Maharaj will never keep one step inside that land. He will not even like to see that. प्राण जाएगा लेकिन ISKCON छोड़ के नहीं जाने. Such a statement Maharaj has given, So one should always enough one stroke. Maharaj will. Any problems we tell Maharaj, Gopal Krishna Maharaj, always tell, how is your chanting going on? Bas, one solution for all problems. How is my chanting? Have you read Prabhupada books? So simple solutions, pure devotees. If you just go, how peaceful they are, how happy they are. So fortunate that one pure devotee association is enough to remember for lifelong. How they are practically what Shastra is telling, we can see somebody is following what Shastra is telling. बहुशास्त्र बहुवाक्य चित्त होए ब्रह्म. बहुत शास्त्र पढ़ेंगे, बहुत इधर उधर घूमेंगे, but they get confused without surrender to pure devotee. And should surrender utterly to the feet of pure devotee. And whatever he says, we should follow. So this is the real atonement. What is the not just taking Chitta for some time and again doing mistakes again and again. No. And should once it is forgiven, twice it is forgiven. Thrice it is not forgiven. Even Krishna will not forgive. Even Jagai Madai, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, sin no more. Once unknowingly done, it is forgiven. Okay? So first thing is Vachovegam. First, one must control his speaking. Vachovegam, what Prabhupada is speaking, we should learn from pure devotees. What Prabhupada is speaking, what Rupa Goswami is speaking. So we'll see what Prabhupada is. Every one of us has the power of speech. Now, everybody has the ability to speak, but we should not go on speaking nonsense. As soon as we get an opportunity, we begin to speak. If we do not speak about Krishna consciousness, we speak about all sorts of nonsense. You know, one should not speak other than Krishna consciousness. You know, that is a sign of advanced devotee. You know, example, speaking about materialistic things means a toad in the field speaking of a croaking, speaks by croaking. And similarly, everyone has a tongue, wants to speak. Even if all he has to say is nonsense. कोई डिवोटी को कितना एडवांस्ड है देखने से पता चलता है, देखने से वो कैसे चलता है, कैसे बात करता है, इससे पता चलता है कि वो कितना एडवांस्ड है ना। कैसे चलता है, एक सन्यासी आ रहा है, तुरंत दंडवत करेगा, है ना, तुरंत दंडवत करेगा। कैसे चलता है वो सीनियर के सामने, तो विनम्रता से चलता है ना। वन डिवोटी वस्तु क्या सीनियर जूनियर इक्वल क्या है, सब एक हो गया। नो, one should always have senior equal juniors and with different types of dealings, you know. So croaking, speaking in front of senior devotee, हाँ महाराज, हाँ यही तो बहुत बढ़िया है, ये बहुत इधर बहुत अच्छा बिल्डिंग्स बनता है, इधर बहुत बड़ा कॉस्टली है ना, फॉर्चुनेट है ये लोग, पहले से खरीद लिया इधर, है ना, बहुत सस्ता में मिल गया उन लोगों को फ्लैट्स या गाड़ी फॉर्चुनेट, घर बनने से फॉर्चुनेट हो जाएगा, तो सस्ता में मिल गया है तो बस हो गया, नॉट मर्सी, है ना। सो sometimes when sannyasi is speaking, one should not speak nonsense in front of them. The croaking of a toad, however, simply invites snake. Please come here and eat me. A snake cannot understand where the toad is, where the frog is, but it is always making sound. Back, 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 back. So the snake slowly comes and observes the sound and catches the frog. Similarly, those who do time pass materialistic cinema, cricket, news, any other things, that invites death. You know? So nevertheless, it is inviting death. The toad goes on croaking. The talking of materialistic men and impersonalist Mayavadi philosophers may compare to the croaking of frogs. They are always speaking nonsense, thus inviting death to catch them. Controlling speech, however, does not mean imposed silence. One more, silence मतलब कुछ नहीं बोलना है, मौन व्रत, चुप बैठे। कुछ लोग मौन व्रत लेते हैं ना एक दिन, that is not going to help. Mauna Vrat means not that. We should not speak anything other than Krishna consciousness. Mauna Vrat. Mauna means, as Mayavadi philosophers think, since silence may appear helpful for some time, but ultimately it proves a failure. Can somebody read this? Pink.
Chandrabhushan Prabhuji.
Yes. By contrast, the controlled speech advocated by Srila Rupa Goswami is the positive process of Krishna Katha, engaging the speaking process in glorifying the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. The tongue can thus glorify the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord. The The preacher of Krishna Katha is always beyond the clutches of the earth. This is the significance of controlling the urge to speak.
So very, very important. The controlled speech advocated by Rupa Goswami. What is the meaning of controlled speech? Means positive process of Krishna Katha. Among association of devotees, what we have to discuss? We should discuss about Krishna Katha. Whenever free time is there, we can chant together, read together, hear together. That is association. Simply staying with devotees, sleeping and early morning, night they will come, sleep, and then morning they take prasad and push on. That is not association. The real association is we should read, hear together. We should discuss Krishna Katha. This is the significance of controlled urge to speak. The restlessness of a fickleness of mind, manovega. This is the controlling speech. Now, I will ask question. We should always remember each vega, Prabhupada has told the problem and gave the solution. Urge to speak. Vacho vegam ka. Vacho vegam is what? The, speaking other than Krishna consciousness is the problem. So solution is what? We should speak only Krishna consciousness. Not just mauna. Not speaking is not a solution. Mauna is not a solution for Vachovegam. Mauna may be a solution for other things, but here for Vachovegam it is not solution. For Vachovegam, Krishna Katha is the solution. So, who are speaking Krishna Katha or hearing Krishna Katha, they are not under the clutches of death. Now, Manasa Vegam, restlessness of the mind, is controlled when one fixes his mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. Mind control कैसे होता है? Mind control होता है when we focus our mind on lotus feet of Krishna. Mind control हम से कितना भी सेमिनार देंगे, material solutions will not stay for a long time. So one spiritual solution is one should always embrace the lotus feet of Krishna with our chest. And one should always offer some flowers to the lotus feet. Should always feel like giving arti to the lotus feet of the Lord. That is mind control. One should remember how today arti went. We should forget whole world and focus on only arti. We should not talk in between arti or anything. We should take photo and always keep in front of us. And always, one of my friend, while we are working, one of my friend used to always keep Krishna Balaram photo and always seeing the lotus feet of Krishna and Balaram. Whenever we have, even if we have 1 minute break or something. So Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Krishna Surya Sama Maya hai andhakar, yaha Krishna taha nahi Maya radhikar. Krishna is just like a sun, Maya is just like a darkness. The sun is present, there is no question of darkness. Similarly, if Krishna is present in the mind, there is no possibility of minds being agitated by Maya's influence. The yogic process of negating all material thoughts will not help. Here, what will not help is also very important. Negating thoughts is not a solution. To try to create vacuum in one's mind is artificial. Vacuum. We cannot create vacuum. The vacuum will not remain. However, if one always thinks of Krishna, how to serve Krishna best, one's mind will naturally be controlled. What a beautiful thing Prabhupada is giving. One should always think of Krishna and to how to serve Krishna best. This is also mind control. आज मैं सेवा भगवान की कैसे अच्छे से करता हूँ। तो सेवा एक बार गोपाल कृष्ण महाराज को है ना, एक डिवोटी पूछ रहे थे, महाराज थिंकिंग अबाउट सर्विस इन चैंटिंग इज ओके while chanting? What must be the answer? Huh? Somebody guess? Thinking of service while chanting.
Prabhuji, chanting is also service to Krishna.
Chanting is also the best service. Chanting is the best service. Maharaj said, for neophyte devotees, okay, sometimes it is not so bad. He's thinking about service, Maharaj said. Yeah. So it's not like he's thinking about some material thing. About Krishna's service, about Krishna is okay. That's why in association of devotees, we always, अरे ये सेवा क्या हुआ, वो सेवा क्या हुआ, tension. About for Krishna's service. That is good. One's mind will naturally be controlled. So Mansa Vegam ka, this you all understood how to control the mind. Fix your mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. Name, form, pastimes, and qualities of Krishna. First, Lord will reveal name, holy name, then form, then guna, qualities, and then pastimes. So one should be very pakka in chanting holy names. This is Manasa Vegam. Any doubts on this Vacho Vegam and Manasa Vegam? No doubts. You can stop me. Anybody has some doubts or anything. Now Krodha Vegam, anger. Anger, how we can control? So we cannot stop anger altogether. If you see Prabhupada is shouting, yelling on his disciples sometimes. We cannot make anger zero. We cannot stop anger altogether. But if we simply become angry, if we become angry with those who blaspheme the Lord or devotees of the Lord, solution is this. We should we should become angry on those who are blaspheming Krishna or Guru. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became angry with his miscreant Jagai Madai, who blasphemed and struck Nityananda Prabhu. Trunadapi sunichena tarorapi sahisnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. ये बड़ा स्टेटमेंट बोला महाप्रभु ने, फिर इधर जगाए मदाई के ऊपर गुस्सा क्यों हो रहा है? Can anybody tell? Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became so angry and Jagai Madai came running with the Sudarshan Chakra? He should not become angry, no? Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became angry and Jagai Madai?
Prabhuji, so Trinadapi Sunichena verse, Mahaprabhu says it is for one's own self. If anybody happens to me, we have to tolerate. But if someone is doing something to a devotee or the Lord, then one can be angry, as here it is told.
So
Because they attacked Nityanand Prabhu, that's why he became angry.
The Nityanand Prabhu is the most dear to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And महाप्रभु को कोई कुछ बोलता है तो सहन सकते थे. If anybody does any wrong to us, we should tolerate. But we should not tolerate when they are speaking, blaspheming about Lord or Guru. One should not tolerate. So here Lord Chaitanya wrote, Trunadapi sunechena tarorapi saishnuna, and should be humbler than blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree. One may then ask why the Lord exhibited his anger. The point is that one should be ready to tolerate all insults to oneself. But when Krishna or pure devotee is blasphemed, a genuine devotee becomes angry and acts like a fire on offenders. If somebody is blaspheming Guru, and we cannot tolerate, we should not hear. When Daksha Prajapati was blaspheming Shiva, all Brahmanas were listening. That's why they all got reactions. That whole place will get contaminated. And that people, everybody will, those who hear offense will also get punishment. Severe punishment you will get. Like किसी का कान काट दिया, किसी का नाक काट दिया, किसी का दांत तोड़ दिया. दक्ष प्रजापति का Brahmanas about, I'm telling you about here, Daksha Prajapati blaspheming and Brahmanas were listening. They didn't tell anything. Keeping quiet is not a solution. It should be like Draupadi disrobed. Bhishma was keeping silence. But he knew that Krishna is going to hell. That's why he's a pure devotee. But Dhritarashtra did not tell anything out of attachment. So one should if here one may tell that I am not a Brahmana, Kshatriya. If a Brahmana, he should refute that. Refute that statement, what he said. If he is a Kshatriya, he should cut off his tongue. And Vaishyas and Shudras and should not hear that offense. If you hear the offense, then your life is gone. And if you hear bad about someone, in this lifetime you will not respect him. At least in this life you cannot respect him. Negativity goes very deeper. That's why we should never hear about bad about our Guru or Krishna. No, we should be very, very careful in this. And if anybody does it, we should become anger. So, especially among non-devotees, and should not encourage blaspheming of Guru and Krishna. Krodha, anger cannot be stopped, but it can be applied rightly. It was in anger that Hanuman set fire to Lanka, but he is worshipped as the greatest devotee of Lord Ramachandra. पूरा पूछ में आग लगा के पूरा लंका को जला दिया. और क्या बढ़िया किया हनुमान जी ने. सब लोग ग्लोरीफाई करता है. एंगर इज अप्रिशिएटेड. Hanuman's anger is appreciated even by Lord Ramachandra. This means that he utilized his anger in the right way. Arjuna serves as another example. He was not willing to fight, but Krishna incited his anger. You must fight. To fight without anger is not possible. Anger is controlled, however, when utilized in service of the Lord. So Arjuna is also one example, and Hanuman. These are the two best examples. So as per the urges of tongue, we all experience that tongue wants to eat palatable dishes. Generally, we should not allow the tongue to eat according to its choice, but should control the tongue by supplying prasad. The devotee's attitude is that he will eat only when Krishna gives him prasad. That is a way to control urges of tongue. One should take prasadam at scheduled times and should not eat in restaurants or sweetmeat shops, simply to satisfy the whims of tongue or belly. If we stick to the principle of taking only prasad, the urges of belly and tongue can be controlled. While we are offering bhoga, one should not offer bhoga what we like. We should be, especially when we are cooking or anything. Whatever I like, I cook and offer to Krishna and eat. Krishna is not just a, भोगा टू प्रसादम ट्रांसफॉर्म करके दे देंगे. मशीन नहीं है वो, भोगा टू प्रसाद ट्रांसफर करके दे देंगे. We should always feel how Krishna must be, honoring it. Sometimes सूखा एक ही खिलाएंगे, चटनी भी नहीं डालेंगे. For example, uttappam, idli. If you offer only idli, no chutney in it, no sambar in it. Is it right? So one should always be conscious. And one should not eat anything other than prasadam, especially without offering. One should never honor anything. So it is very, very dangerous. Once I was in hospital and my mother met with accident and I have to give blood. Doctor said, you must eat something. I was outside. I was initiated. So I was really confused. Now there is no preaching center nearby to take prasadam. What to do? Immediately I have to take something. Then I called my counselor. Whenever we are in dilemma, we should call our superiors, take guidance. That's it. Then I called Prabhu, what to do now? My mother is met with accident and she needs my blood. Immediately I have to take something. There is no nearby place to offer and take. So can I take something? Said I like idli or something. So it is not mixed with onion, garlic or something. Idli, nobody will mix onion, garlic. So I said, so Prabhuji said, you offer it in the plate itself. Keep one photo. And please beg forgiveness for Krishna for inconvenience and take. So that time I did it. I felt satisfied. At least I followed what my superior said. There is solution. Even if superior tells, okay, you can take outside, then we can. There is blessing, no? But emergency should not be daily affair. So one should always see, how to, follow all the rules and regulations. Devotee's attitude is that he will eat only when Krishna gives him prasad. प्रसाद के रूप में आपको स्वीट भी मिलेगा, कभी चटपट भी मिलेगा. Radha Rani knows when to give what, so that he will be satisfied. In my life, I saw there was no time when I did not get what I liked. It's not that I cooked. It's a default. I never felt I didn't get something. Everything Radharani gives us in the form of prasadam. One should be satisfied. One should take prasadam at scheduled times. One should not eat in restaurants. One should not eat something cooked in restaurants or sweet meat shops. ये भी स्वीट है ना प्रभु, इसमें थोड़ी अनियन गार्लिक है, तो भूल लगा के खा लेंगे. Can we offer and take sweets in the sweet shop? Huh? No. बाबू बर्तन में नॉनवेज भी बनाया होगा. ये चाकू लेके कोई फ्रूट भी कटिंग करता है ना बाहर, वो नहीं लेना चाहिए, क्योंकि वो चाकू लेके अंडा भी फोड़ा होगा या चिकन मटन के लिए भी यूज किया होगा. क्या पता है, नॉन डिवोटी, especially Muslims, should not eat from their hands anything, even fruit also. Uncut fruit we can take, wash it thoroughly and then use. Sometimes in the train, we take water bottles. One devotee bottle, you wash it, because they keep non-veg also in that same cooling things. Wash the bottle and drink. So we should be very, very careful, because we should not spoil our consciousness. We should not eat with a non-devotee cooking, however it may be, whoever it may be. One should never take non-devotee cooked food. So one should be very, very careful. Otherwise, mind will get disturbed. So, malin hoila man. So one should not eat from devotees of non-devotees' hands. So one should always eat from devotees' hand. If it is stick to the principle of taking only prasad, urges of tongue, the urges of belly and tongue can be controlled. Prasadam, once Gopal Krishna Maharaj was telling, even if you eat more, there is no loss. Prasad, no? It will purify. Medicine, कभी कभी टॉनिक स्वीट है बोल के ज्यादा ले लेते हैं, ठीक है, टॉनिक ही तो है ना. प्रसाद ज्यादा लेना ये बड़ा ये नहीं, बट वन शुड ऑलवेज अंडर लिमिट. But it is not such a big mistake taking more prasad. But not taking unoffered items is serious problem in bhakti. Okay, thank you very much. Any doubts?
Can I ask a question?
Hare Krishna. Yes.
Yeah, Prabhuji, regarding prasadam, like sometimes we go to home and at home, it happens sometimes that like our mother doesn't offer the food to the Lord. Like even if she offers, she like offers to the demigods, and it happens so we end up eating the same food. So like
Not
because now
for how to make her understanding about these things is very important. It is a homework. We should bring them for the yatras, and we should make them meet with their equals, parents equal. We cannot instruct them. We can, even in my home also, when I go home, I cannot stay more than 4 days. That is my maximum limit. I have understood my mind. And I don't give even Mahaprasad to them. Because no, they इसमें क्या है, कुछ नहीं है, रख देंगे. So one should not throw Mahaprasad. Entire Mahaprasad it will bring in my plate. So one should not make them offenses. One should never instruct them also. We should make them to come and meet some senior devotees. They will tell, they will instruct. It is because every day we have to go to home, we should always think about how to make them properly a devotee, or at least follow the principles. So a daily affair, it's lifelong. We should be very careful. Okay. My solution is that we should make them meet Maharajas or someone. Maharaj, please tell my mother, she offers to demigods. Maharaj will tell some good way. If we tell, they will revolt. Okay. Right. Yes, Prabhu. Mridul Krishna Prabhu.
Ruji, sometimes devotees have some program and they order it from non-devotee cooks or caterers. So they say that these caterers are very best and they do very nice food. They cook very nicely or something like that. But they are not devotees. So in that case, what should we do?
See, Prabhu, I also compromise certain times, but it definitely agitates the mind. It definitely agitates the mind. Whenever I've seen in my life, I don't want to take risk, but it is offered or anything. Sometimes we have to compromise. We cannot tell sometimes, but it is offered means at least offered or anything. But one should not relish. One should take it as a tapasya. Sometimes we cannot tell to everybody, but we must take, or at least fruits, juice we can take, which is uncooked items we can take. So we cannot. Some people cannot reform, and we have to limit their association. should not stay daily. We should not take such kind of programs. Should not attend. And we should pray to Krishna seriously that I don't like this, but some devotee, we should not displease devotees also. And we should feel pain within. So it's a great unfortunate. We should maintain prasadam very nice, cooked by 16 rounders, will be best. It is the greatest mercy of Krishna that if we are getting prasadam, which is cooked by devotees and not employees, even in voice also we are many voices are trying to make a cook को सिर्फ सब्जी कटिंग वेसल वॉशिंग के लिए एंगेज करके कुकिंग डिवोटीज करते हैं. So many discussions are happening even in voice. So
Thank you, Guruji.
thank you, Harish. You know more better. You are most senior devotee. I got his association and
We are fortunate we are getting your association in the classes here.
as a
Thank you.
my purification, I was giving. I
No,
told
Guruji.
Hare Krishna. Arjun Sarthi Prabhu also. He's my senior. He joined when I was 2009. He joined as a brahmachari, and then properly grasta. So no, anybody who takes at least 1 year brahmachari training, it's such a nice. So he's my senior, but still sitting and listening. Please pray for
Only
me.
by age, Prabhuji. By realization, renunciation, you're far ahead.
You are all very humble. You are a Vachuvegam. I get a lot of inspiration. Please pray for me. Speaking is anybody can speak. Following is very difficult. Please pray for me. All devotees, speaking is very easy. Please bless me to follow certain percent and get purified. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Swami ki jai.
Jai. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.